Hello guys, welcome back to another video on the Traders Hunt series. My name is Success Obona, your host on this traders journey, right? And today we'll be looking at the market generally and looking at what opportunities exist in the market for the week, right? So you know this is the XY, and this is the first guy I always like to tweet. I always like to look at this guy to map out opportunities that exist for the week, right? So if you look at the XY generally, from a weekly time frame perspective, see that this guy has been on an uptrend, right? We've been on an uptrend. This is a first touch, second touch, this is a third touch. So I've been expecting price to pull up from here. Although that has been happening, but there has been a little bit drama, right? But the most important thing is that uh, since price broke out of this long consolidation we've had there, the many rough, how can say how very rough price had been here, but this was a double bottom price had formed, right? The bottom price has formed and has taken out this neckline, this long neckline, this neckline that has long strapped price. We've broken above it, so this is the next target to break. If you can break successfully above here, come back with test, it will be so good for it to be safe to say the dollar strength to be the dollar will be up for some strong rallies, right? So that will happen. But so far, it's just market has been pretty quiet because we're now on the second phase that needs to be broken. This was the first very important phase, and this is another phase price is facing again, another area of drama that price is currently facing that needs to be broken, right? That is on the XY, right? So also from the daily time frame, the XY. So clearly, although if you can see clearly from here, you could notice that the XY has been forming higher highs and higher lows, right? The XY has been forming higher highs and higher lows. Either ways, right? You can see that from here. It's a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. Now coming to form a higher low. That of this will now break, and this will be now be the new higher low that will be formed. Right, this is my projection on the XY that the US dollar will keep gaining strength, we keep pumping and keep gaining strength. Right, but currently we are in a very kind of dicey state. Currently, price in the kind of a dicey state. So this one area I'm waiting to see. Okay, if you're gonna bounce, if you're bouncing from me, let's see how that happens. But if you're gonna bleed, let's break this counter trend, break below this trend, and I will take, and I will once it breaks below this trend, definitely it's gonna bleed down. It's going to bleed all the way down. Right, but this is an important support area I've had to map out to see how price react around there. It's going to build momentum from here. It's going to consolidate from here, then build momentum to the upside. Right, but nothing is certain yet. Currently, what we have is a bit of a winch, but still showing a strong momentum from the seller's end around this area. But let's see if this support is going to hold. Right, so this support holds is going to be significant for the events that will be playing out in the market going forward, right? So the next indicator will be index. I would like to see the JPY index. JPY index is strongly bearish. Momentum is still with the bears, strongly bearish. You can see that for yourself. After this head and shoulders pattern, price has been dropping, dropping, dropping. Right, it keeps falling. Price keeps falling, right? I expect it to keep dropping to the downside. But then there might be a little bit of drama because of this area. This to be this area is an area of concern, so it needs to break below it for us to be clear on the momentum or respect to the direction of the market, right? So the the first pair I would want to also look at is Euro USD. So what's up with Euro USD? What's up with Euro USD? So this is Euro USD, guys, from the weekly time frame, right? And weekly Euro USD from the weekly time frame has formed for us. Just sorry, it's one. I don't want insignificant. Let me not say significant anyway. Someone is trying to call me. The call is this is such a wrong time to want to call me. Such a wrong time. Right. So this Euro USD from the weekly time frame. You can see that Euro USD had formed something like had been a very strong range. So this was supposed to be like a break. Let me clear out. clear all this. So we are clear on what Euro USD is doing. So one of the things I like to do is I like to be open-minded with the market, not to be not to be strong on any bias. I like to be open-minded with the market. And this is Euro USD, as you can see, right? This Euro USD, you can see that the price has been ranging, but it's setting out to drop. It's looking at something that really wants to drop, right? Something that really wants to drop. Now look at it from the daily time frame, and you notice something. Let me show you what you notice. Notice we have a trend. We have a trend, right? We have a trend from the daily time frame. Now price has come to this broken out of this support, strong support that has been holding for weeks. This support area that has been holding for weeks. Price is it broke, retest. So it's looking at something that wants to really dump, right? So I would want to expect price to dump, but worst case scenario, the price now chooses to go break above it. Let it come and sit back down, and I'll take it from the sitting back down to the upside. Shikana. So no hard feelings, nothing attached. So currently I'm just going to be watching to see how what price do from here. This is a 4-hour time frame on Euro USD, right? So it's also looking pretty nice, right? If you're looking at what is doing, what price is doing currently from here, you see that price is actually uh forming nicely from here. It's kind of forming nicely. So this guy is really set to dump, right? So although it was riding bullish, what the events going on here, the gap and everything showing us price trying to wanting to drop, but this is a whole lot of consolidation around here. Check it on the 1 hour time frame. This whole area it's just so full of it's just a consolidation going on around here. But I want rather expect since this consolidation is going on below this trend, I want to expect that this gap price will dump, right? I rather would want to expect that price will dump from around this area, this region here. I rather expect that price will dump from this region. Right, this from the 2 hours time frame. I rather expect that this guy will dump from here. But let's see how this holds. How price continue out if this area is going to hold. So on a practical note, it is safer to expect to want to for price to break below here, break, then come back with tests, or pull back a bit, then it drops. But this is what I want to expect. So this might be something might want to expect or from here. But naturally, I would want price to clear all these dramas around here. And all this drama around here. Uh, some of these dramas here are things I rather see rather price clears out of, because price will just come back down from here and still bounce back up. Right, this is what I'm saying. And still bounce back up from here. Right. So we need some for this to happen, this needs to be cleared. This area here is such an important area that needs to be cleared. Right, that needs to be cleared. But hopefully this will happen in the coming days on Euro USD. This will be happening in the coming days on Euro USD. Right. So the next very important as I would want to also look at is GBP USD. Right. Looking at GBP USD from the weekly time frame, you could see clearly that we're having price forming double top situation. Right. We have a double top situation from here on GBP USD. Let me just clear the chart so you see what I'm going on. What's going on? So, but then there's something about this area that price got to it bounced. It got here again. That's what this one I had to mark this green level. It got there. And this week now price started from this same area. So there's such a thing there is something about this zone between this resistance and this area that is so significant that right, and we really need to pay attention to on GBP USD trade. Right, but clearly GPUs has broken below this strong support zone, and so looking at something that wants to really continue dumping. But for that dump to happen, right, this needs to align correctly. Right, this will need to align very correctly on. This will need to align very correctly. Right, I think price might want to push back up a bit, at least with this area before it dumps. I don't expect price to dump from here. I don't expect price GPUSD to dump from here. I want to see price get here before falling, right? Or if it doesn't want to fall, just like what I did on EU, it breaks this area, come back returns, and we go higher from there. This is what I want to project and expect on GBP USD, right? So looking at this from the 4-hour time frame, looking at it from the 4 hours time frame, this is just like the way we do a counter trend line on Euro USD. So the same thing I want to plot on GBP USD, right? So they see how price just keeps playing around this area. So until there's a clear breakout of this below this trend line, personally I won't take GU any seriously. I won't want to short without seeing a break below this trend line. Right, so even if I really want to short, and let me see this let me see this counter trend break happen. Let this trend line be broken. I mean, that's what to guarantee. That's more like my safety margin on taking this trade, taking the trade on GPUSD, right? And the next and my very important, the next and really important header for me is NZD-USD, right? I'm really bearish. Some of you guys have been following me for the longest of time. You know that I'm bearish on this guy, and I'm still bearish on it since we got it around this area. Be bearish. So this is the target for me on NZD-USD, right? This zone here is a target on it, so it's definitely going to get to this area before any possible reversal reaction on NZD-USD, right? So this is it. Price is still building momentum to drop, right? But the worst case scenario on this guy is, look, I have to give room for eventualities. That this guy wants to do this, like an inverse that should want to be pull back so significantly from here. This can happen. This can happen, but generally I'm still very much bearish on it. But this is a possibility. Right, based on what the pattern you are seeing here, this is a possibility. But generally, I am bearish on this guy. That's truth, right? I'm bearish on this guy. But an entry to short this guy, there's nothing really to look out for to short this guy from here, right? Maybe until we get there before we look at for opportunity to buy. But let's see how tomorrow opens up with the market, which ends with NZD USD. Right, I choose this up, choose market or choose the opens up on NZD USD, they'll be able to strike. But the next is USD CHF. And this was a pair I was longing until last week Thursday, where I had to close my positions on this guy. When I saw this evening star, this momentum, I knew something is definitely wrong. And so I might be looking out. Maybe this guy might want to just keep playing the range for the longest of time. I really don't know. Might want to keep playing the range. Got a dump now. Got again another. I know another dump is possible before a reverse, before a chooses to break, maybe, right? So, but for now, a lot is at stake on this trade. But generally, I think this guy is gonna drop. I think this guy is going to drop. It's really like something that would want to drop. So I might want to look out to of the possibility of shorting this guy. It's a possibility, but now there's something about this area and this area, this range, the range around this area, right? If it's price is going to break below this green level or it's going to push back up, right? So I'm not on this trade yet. I just mapped it out. Let's see how this plays out. Or let's see how this plays out in the coming days. But if it keeps playing around this area, I might just take the shot. I might just take the shot to sell this guy down. But if it's not chooses to break above here, come back with this, and I will long it. I will long this guy, right? Then I will long it. So this is just what I'm waiting for. Hopefully by tomorrow Tuesday, market will be more certain, more clear on the direction of on USD CHF. More clear on the direction on USD CHF. So for now, this is a possibility I'm more looking out for on USD CHF. This is a possibility I'm looking out for on USD CHF. The next is USD JPY. USD JPY, you can see that this guy has been playing around this resistance. This green level has been one level that has been like a stumbling block for it on it from going higher. So this is how to map this trend. Price is making higher highs and higher lows. So let's see. So for me to take any action on USJPY, either we break below this trend or break above this resistance. For me to either we break above here, then come back for the retest and I'll take it up. Or price comes break this break this guy, we come back for the pullback here, and I will shut it down. Now shut it down significantly in this area. This trend. So that's just what I'm looking at for on this trade. Whether we break below or go above. So these are the two eventualities I'm waiting for to happen. You can notice that most of these trades I'm just waiting for them to happen. I'm not trying to force my way or batch into the market any of them, right? So the next guy is USD US 30, right? US 30. So this is like a very bullish flag actually. So this might just break to the upside. I actually expect it to break to the upside to continue buying to the upside. I expect this guy to continue buying to the upside in the coming days. But it might also choose to pull back down into this area before the final breakout happens. So either ways, I would rather be on the sidelines on this particular guy to see what happens because of the volatility on this guy. Right? Let me see now. Sound right? Now, sound is already showing strong momentum to the upside from the buyer side, which is good. I think there was one pair I traded last week. Longest I've never really traded minor pairs. Actually took out a trade on Euro AUD, and we made quite a lot of money trading this guy last week. But the simple trick we did was just look at this area of support that price had been expecting. So price got there last week and we took the buy this look at the high to this height, then took some good profit on it. So it's went back a high a bit, and it's coming back down again. So like this, it's not exactly clear on what the market wants to do on Euro AUD. But if there's something I had to do, I had to map out like a trend to see, okay, maybe this is just what it's trying to respect, what's trying to play out. But personally, I would love to see it come back down, come lower to this support, then we can pick another buy again. All right, that is because why I'm looking at the buy bias because generally this guy, if you look at this guy for the weekly overall, it's been bullish, but we are on a critical area within this major support, major resistance, and this area. So that will break below, or we just keep going higher and higher, right? So one of this is definitely going to happen on this trade, right? So this is not enough in itself reason for you to think that okay, this guy want to buy, put SI below here, but just stop you out unnecessarily. So let's just wait for see how price built up, or at least breaks below this area. But I don't trust this trend. This trend is not so. It's not a perfect trend. That's the word. It's not a perfect trend that you should go and trust to go and buy Euro US, but you might be lucky. That's just it. That's just it. So I don't want to drive on luck. I want to drive on at least more chances of certainty, which is why I want to see price around here before making any strike on gold on Euro AUD. So the next and very important guide to look at for is gold. Gold has broken above this area, significantly broken above this. As last week Friday, we were just playing around here. So from the 4-hour time frame, we can see where gold is right now. Personally, I want to expect a pullback to this area. Then I'll buy gold from here to the upside. Right? I'm going to be buying gold, but I want to see this pullback down to this area first before doing that on gold. Right? Before doing that on gold. I want to see a pullback down to this area to buy back gold. So gold is really set to be a new high. Speaking so set to create another new high. So watch out for gold, guys. Watch out for gold. So BTC, I think one thing I've told us clearly on BTC is that I have always been bullish. I've always been bullish on BTC. So the reason is I'll ever change my bias is this: if this trend zone gets broken, right, gets broken, then I know that the market is changing phase from bullish to a bear season, or whatever I want to call it. Right. So far it's so good. Market still I'm still bullish on this market. Come out to me, I'm still bullish on it. You can see how this zone is holding on strongly, trying to hold on. So it's fighting for its dear life. I think it's going to keep holding. It's going to keep holding. Right. So I don't think there's any other pair we want to look at. Let me AUD USD. Is there anything interesting to look at on this pair? For the fact that this guy has been very rough lately, but been respecting this support. So you got there last week and today we are up on it already. Right, so but then the pullback is currently happening on AUD USD. Might just pull back down significantly or drops. If it drops, it might just break below this area. If it's gonna drop, if it's gonna drop significantly, it's gonna drop the break below this area. Because this will be like a lower high, lower low, a lower high, a new lower low. Might just be what it wants to go and form. Let me say, is there anything to see look at for on GG? Okay, this is one thing I want to see. This is one thing I'm seeing on GG. This one thing I'm seeing on GG. It's not how that this guy is not just straight at all. It's just too rough. It's just too rough for my liking. GG is just too rough. GG is just so rough. Even though significantly are making higher highs, higher lows, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it's looking like something that is set to make another new high. Since I made a new higher low, yeah, so it's heading to make a new high. Yeah, it's heading to make a new high. Hmm. I've never really paid attention to this period where I'm doing right now, so just allow me to. It's been so long I tried this period. It's been so long I tried this particular period. So I think this is something interesting I'm already seeing. I'm really seeing on this period. I've not really paid attention to lately on GBGPY. So this is GBGPY clearly. Right, this is GBGPY clearly, and this is clearly what it is doing. So I think it might go higher at things as high as hitting this place before the dump. If another dump might could happen, but I think this guy is bullish. Clearly, it is bullish as you can see it for yourself. This guy is clearly bullish. So on the 4 hour time frame, let's look out for what's happening. So clearly, the price wants to form a new lower high, right? New lower high to continue going higher from here. So this one time, I think I'll be mapping. I'm waiting to see how this happens from tomorrow. Let me see how if it's gonna drop back to this point, then we'll pick it up from there. Hmm. This is such an interesting thing to see. Such an interesting such an interesting structure to see on GPY. Let's see how that opens up in the coming days and weeks, right? On GBJPY. I think that's just basically practically what I'm looking at. So this guy might drop a little bit lower for us to get an entry. Uh, Let me see USJPY. There's really nothing to look at on this guy. Let me see Euro JPY. This guy, there's something I know about this guy is that he loves to buy. He so much loves to buy. You can see from the weekly time frame how that it has been. No matter how the market has been, it tends to maintain that consistent bullish momentum. Try to maintain that consistent bullish momentum. Just my big market out from here. Time to mark part strength, so I chose to mark part some important areas. Mark out some important areas. So you can see this guy is in bullish all this while, strongly bullish all this, although we've not really paid attention to it, some of these structures. But let's see how the coming days go really. Right, so I have to start taking some of these tweets. Euro JPY, GP JPY. Right, it's not just waiting for Euro GP USD. GBP JPY. Not just waiting for USD JPY, I mean to say. So this guy has been strongly bullish, very strongly bullish. very strongly bullish. Let's see how deep it would fall. It can fall. Let's wait for a pullback. Let's see how deep it can fall to fall before we ride it up. Guys, before we ride it up. Before we ride it up. So that's just my view on this PS. So guys, I think my time is up already. So these are some of the pairs I'm looking at for. I'm looking at to sell Euro USD, JP USD, and NZ USD. May this guy USD JPY too. It's tentative, that we said all buy. So we're not certain yet. We're not clear yet. So until there's a clear break above this trend line, then we'll now look out for go for the certainty. Let me just remove this so that I don't get so I don't get my bias fixed on selling USD CHF. So if there's a clear break above here, why not to come back and retest and we'll buy it to the upside. But if we want to respect this trend zone, fine, we'll still shut it down. So guys, that's just my view on the market. So I'll be seeing you guys next week when if everything has eventually played out. So you guys might want to join my signals community where we get the signals will be dropped tomorrow and Thursdays, right? See you guys in my next video.